Hello. I'm excited to touch base with you today. It's been an incredible week. Today is July 24th, and that means we are exactly 3 months from the closing of our building in Aspinwall, which happened on April 24th. We purchased our dream location. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to listen to the first episode of how we got here, where we're going, and then consecutively all of the weeks since then. Thank you so much to everybody who is following along. It's a really exciting journey, and I'm excited to share it with you. So after last week's unbearably long 8-hour meeting, I was really surprised to find how well it influenced my team's accountability. It really seems like our team understands fully what's at stake and how much there is to accomplish before we open our new location on August 16th. That's right. We are 3 months into this project, and we are only 3 weeks from our opening date. And that's a ribbon cutting. We will potentially have some time after that when we're waiting on permits. Hopefully not, but it's really hard to say what, the health department will do. We also need a Department of Agriculture certification for our wholesale program. So we have the luxury of operating out of our existing kitchen in the Strip District until we can operate fully out of our new location. So we're not really very worried, but we are excited to have the ribbon cutting with the complete construction, host all the people that have been working with us and supporting us over the years. And actually, 2 congressmen are scheduled to speak at our ribbon cutting ceremony. I'm very excited to present it on that date. And of course, we are excited to start bringing in business because at the end of the day, we have a mortgage to pay. So things are really coming to a head on both the construction end and the business planning and development end. I remember several months ago, I decided that it was wise for me only to schedule 2 meetings on any given day. Meetings and coordination take time, and they also take time away from all the other tasks that you have on your plate. Well, that doesn't really work when you're opening a new location, coordinating with a team, and hiring new staff. My days now are stacked with meetings. And they're usually not 8-hour meetings, but every meeting lasts, at least an hour. So the other day, it was last Thursday, I had my morning accounting meeting, followed by the meeting with our kitchen consultant who has way more experience in commercial kitchens than we do. Then I just happened to schedule haircuts for my 2 boys that day, and the place that they get their haircut, it's one of those cute places where they sit in a car and watch TV, so the stylist can just do as they please while the boys are distracted and having fun. They get balloons at the end and a lollipop, and it's a whole experience. And you have to pre-schedule, so when I pre-scheduled this a week ago, I didn't have any idea how slam-packed this particular day would be. So this particular day, I had to run payroll. So I used a little bit of time before leaving for the haircuts to get payroll started, and then found a few holes that needed answers about, time card punch outs, which location people were working in, etc. So I sent out some questions to our staff coordinator and then started getting ready to go. And then I received a notification that quarterly sales tax was due. Quarterly sales tax requires me to do basically the reporting for the entire last quarter, which means pulling in revenue numbers and expenses from all of our income sources, including, online sales, in-store sales, Uber Eats, Grubhub, as well as wholesale, rental income, etc. And pulling those numbers from all of those places takes time. You need to compile the report, enter the data, make the payment. It's just a lot of steps. And then I found out that the wholesale website that we're using to purchase a lot of our wholesale merchandise was having a site-wide sale that ended at midnight on that same day. So, okay, it's time to go to the haircut. We drive all the way out to Robinson. We get there just in time. I turn off the car because I had taken Adam's Jeep. My car was busy being an extra car for deliveries at work that day. And I realized that Adam had forgotten to give me the keys to the Jeep, which meant that I couldn't turn the Jeep back on. And we were stuck out in Robinson. So in times like these, you just have to laugh sometimes, because what else can you do? Adam eventually got the keys out to us. We drove home. The boys took a nap. I got some work done. And then it was time to go to Aspinwall to meet with my mentor. This year, I meet on a monthly basis with a mentor assigned to me through an entrepreneurial class I'm taking through Pitt Small Business Development Center. We had scheduled this meeting a month ago. My mentor, Ava, is the owner of a production company that, among other things, is the official maker of the Pittsburgh Steelers' terrible towel. She's kind of a badass. It was great showing her around the construction site, but we cut things a little bit short this month on account of everything going on. Later, my mom came over after O'Hara's shift was done to help watch the kids while I finished up the reporting and the payroll and the shopping. And there was a moment where the kids were literally going crazy, as toddlers will. The 1-year-old screaming in this high-pitched banshee scream that he's recently developed. The 3-year-old's having a bit of hyperness. My mom's chasing them around the house. I'm trying to do 3 things at once. And I had this flashback to a job I had, my one and only true corporate job, where I sat in a cubicle across from a woman, Sue, who was wonderful. She was my onboarding buddy, and she was sort of a lifer at this company that had recently been acquired by a larger corporation after running for many decades as a family-owned business. And I just remembered one of these things that Sue would always say. We would be working in the afternoon and things would be happening, and there were, like any job, frustrations and busy times and times where you didn't know how you would possibly do all the things. And Sue would lean forward on her creaky office chair and give me this funny look and say, "Are we having fun yet?" So in this particular moment of chaos, working from my home office, Sue's words from some 10, 11 years ago really resonated with me. And I realized that I was actually having fun. And it's because I knew I could handle it. There was way too much to do. What I had to do was accept the chaos and flow. Move through payroll, focus, check my work, move to reporting, sales tax, check everything, submit it, and then move on to shopping. I mean, talk about different hats, right? All while being a mom. At a certain point, of course, my mom had to go. She got worn out by those 2 little tykes. And then I have to admit, I put Spidey on the television and kept shopping the wholesale website until 12 a.m. when they cut me off. But we got some fun stuff. Some grow your own mushroom kits with reishi and lion's mane. Some beautiful planters for the plants that will adorn the cafe, and they'll be for sale, of course. I got some cute wooden toys that I'm excited to present that are really on brand, and a few other things. You'll have to come by the store and see them when we open. On site this week, some exciting things happened. The pergola in front of the building is now installed, and it looks like $1 million. It really elevates the look of the commercial property. It's actually an idea that I had a while back for our home. The residence that Adam and I purchased several years ago, it's sort of built into a hill, and the front of it just isn't much to look at. And my intention has always been to build a pergola out front of it to sort of hide the house and create a place for plants to grow. We haven't done that yet. When you have so many projects going on, we tend to prioritize the ones that are revenue producing as opposed to the ones that are comfort based. But the pergola is the first touch of character that I've really seen come through in the construction so far. And there's another touch that is going to be finished today. We're actually building a propagation wall right inside the entryway to the cafe. And as it's being built, the materials are coming through really nicely. I'll be posting pictures of that on my Instagram today. This week, the painters are coming. They're going to start painting the exterior, everything white, so that Sandy can begin her mural next week on the Freeport Road side of the building. We had our electrical inspection and our plumbing inspection last week. So now the drywallers are going to be on site today to close up all the walls. And at the end of the week, the concrete floors are going to be ground down. And that should be the last bit of dust. Trust me, as soon as I possibly can, I'm going to start loading plants into this place. as soon as Adam gives me the okay, but we need to get the floors done first. On the product development side of things, the oat milk experiments are going quite well. I've been able to steam the oat milk and create the froth that I was looking for. I've created a nice protein content using pea protein and hemp hearts in the oat milk as well. And I'm playing around with a matcha mushroom latte as part of our adaptogenic latte menu. Last week, Kirsten created vibrant rolls with really beautifully colored vegetables and fruits inside, like bell peppers and mango, with a sauce that's made of almond butter and ginger that is drinkable. It's so good. This week, Kirsten's task is to feed our wholesale team, which is sort of like a high volume task for the day. I, for one, am looking forward to it, and I can't wait to have these sandwiches and salads available to me on a daily basis at the new cafe. Hopefully you can come have lunch with me sometime soon. Well, that's all I have for now. Thanks for listening. Check back next week and have a great day. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to give us a follow at Vibrant Sunshine Behind the Scenes. You can find photos posted on my Instagram, that's Green Juice and Yoga, Naomi Hopple, and also on the Vibrant Sunshine Cafe Instagram.